I can hear you loud and clear. Superb. I do have to leave in about an hour. We've got a load coming into the terminal. Yep.
Live tonight. It is Trucking Talk with Crazy Bags and Eric from Driver Lineup. Hope everybody is doing well. We're going to go ahead and pull that music out of there and take it one thing at a time. How you doing, Eric? How you doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight?
Well, I'm just waking up. I tried to sleep on and off throughout the day because we got a meat load, which is going to take me over 60 over to Sykeston in the middle of the night. And you know how that can be if you're not well slept.
Yeah, 60 is definitely no fun. That's for sure. I had to adjust down the volume, guys, so it was probably too loud.
Yeah, there'll be some deer dodging tonight.
Yeah, there'll be some deer dodging in the fog. Well, I hope you can hear us, Johnson. That was kind of the point behind it. Kind of the point behind it. So how was your week home, man? It's been like 8 days, hasn't it?
It's been 14.
Have you been home for 14 days?
Yep.
Oh
2
my
weeks.
Gosh.
2 weeks. Well, we had probably our strongest 3 weeks in a year. I mean, we made. Jenna's hiding.
Yeah, she's hiding.
She's hiding in the back. Oh, she didn't know we had cameras, she said. So she just ran. We made like almost 15 grand in 3 weeks. So came home and it was hard to peel ourselves back out after 3 weeks like that.
I bet, man. It's probably been really nice just being at the house, I would imagine.
Yeah, and we've had so much to do too. And podcasts, which you're associated with, and I mean, we've actually been working. It hasn't been like a vacation, but yeah, it's time to go. I think I'm like 20. I'll be $2,400 in the hole.
Oh wow! Well, you'll make it up one week though as a team.
Yeah, and we already have a $3 a mile load out tonight, which will be on this payroll, so that'll get us halfway, or actually more than halfway out of it.
Yeah,
get us most of the way out of it.
You'll be ready to go. I got started. I went ahead and got ready tonight and took 2 doubles of tequila before I turned the camera on. So we should be good to go tonight. Should be good to go. Welcome in everybody. I see a lot of familiars here. I see some new people that I don't recognize. So welcome in, folks. Welcome in. So I guess you really don't know what life's been like on the road for 2 weeks because you haven't been there. Yeah.
No, we've been watching all the thunderstorms from the house.
Let's talk really quick about, you mentioned it, and that's this podcasting we got going. So the first episode is out, right?
It is. I just checked. I think it hit Amazon today, maybe, but it's on Spotify. If you just search Driver Hub, HUB, it's on Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and really the only 2 we're waiting on is Apple iTunes or Apple Podcasts, and I think one more. There's Google Play as well. It's on Google Podcast. So Crazy Bags, he'll be doing one. I'm doing one per month. Yep. Travis Kinley and No Luck Trucking, Matt from No Luck Trucking. So we're all going to alternate. We're not committing to any kind of a
schedule.
At first I put dates out there. Yeah. At first I put dates out there and I thought, well, Crazy Bags is busting his hump down there. We're all chasing the bag out here on the road. That's crazy. Yep. So they'll be there when they're there.
But they will be there,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, make sure you guys go and follow that because now it's Driver Hub, right?
Driver Hub, yeah. There's a URL. Let me see if I can find that URL. But I went and tested it on Spotify. I typed in Driver Hub, and before I even put the last B of the 2 words, it had pulled that up in results. So the best way is just go to, if you have Spotify or Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, any of those, and then next week Apple and Google, just type in Driver Hub and it'll pull it up, and then you could subscribe to it and you automatically get notifications.
Alerts. Yeah, you automatically get alerts. So whatever your favorite is right now, check it. And if it's there, go ahead and subscribe to it, or you'll be good. And now, like he said, now we're all, the goal is for everybody to do one a month.
Yeah, and it's I said this in a video last night. I don't know about you, Bags, but I've never done anything like that. I mean, it's one thing. I'm actually new to YouTube too, but in YouTube, when you're talking to your phone, like I remember when you were walking around in shippers and receivers, you kind of get used to feeling like you're talking to people. You're talking to your audience. You're having a conversation with them. When you're talking into a mic and there's no video involved whatsoever,
it's different.
It's not instant community. That podcast may not be up for a week, so that's an interesting adjustment.
It's a little different.
So bear with us, everyone. It may take us a month or 2 before we figure our stuff out.
Welcome in, Panda. I'm glad Panda is well. Panda had a bit of an incident, so I'm glad you are well, Panda. Brad, welcome in. Greg, good to see you. Good to see you, man. Valken, good to see you too as well. We're just hanging out tonight. We're just hanging out, man. I had a question posed to me the other day, and I think maybe I'll work on this for my first podcast, because I'm thinking about a couple different ways to go about this. But someone asked me the other day. They said, and I was on Twitch. I was working, and they were like, how about if we talk about the hardest adjustments for students coming into trekking? I thought, wow, that's, I've talked about that a lot. Everybody talks about it all the time, but, so yeah, I may sit down and, have a little chat with myself even, just 35 minutes.
No, I think that's a great topic. I think, I think we already have like 100 subscribers on the podcast.
Wow, nice.
And from the feedback that I've seen, it is mostly new drivers.
Yeah.
And we did a survey on our YouTube channel about 6 months ago. We were in Phoenix and did this survey. This community allows you to create polls,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed, I think we had about 200 respondents of our subscribers, and it showed something crazy like 40% of our subscribers were in the process of or planning to come into trucking.
Wow. So
That's
brand new people.
Yep.
Brand
So
new.
now I don't know if that would hold for all the subscribers, but that's a pretty sizable sample. I think it gives you a good
Yeah.
idea that probably, close to half of the subscribers of these YouTube channels are people who are interested in coming to Prime. They have that exact question. What is this going to mean for me?
What, yeah. How's my life going to change?
Yeah.
And what can I do to make it easier on the way in? And these are subjects that I've always enjoyed talking about. Just because I was out there so long. I was doing the math the other day. I was trying to figure it all out as we were getting into this because I want to be real transparent with everybody when we're doing, when I'm making my podcast for this. And in the 14-year period that I was a truck driver, I believe from my math, I was actually OTR for 11 and a half months of that. So 11 and a half months in a 14-year, or 12 and a, no, it was 12 and a half months. I took a year and a half off, spread out in 2 different increments. So yeah, 12 and a half years out of 14. I was actually OTR. It's a long time.
Oh, you mean 11? So it was 11 something months that you were not.
No, yeah, it was like, no, it was 12 and a half years that I was OTR in a 14-year period.
Gotcha.
So there was an 18 months that I wasn't working on the road.
Well, tip of the hat to you, because I'm 2 years in and I get Tourette syndrome on the road probably once per week.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It's not an easy life. And I understand that more now than I ever did before, because now I'm home and I realize everything I missed, everything I missed.
We had lunch and breakfast with a few new drivers who are in training right now at Prime the other day, and someone asked me, said, so, you're 2+ years in now, are you still loving it? And I said, well, I have goals, I have things that I'm working towards, but I'm going to be honest with you, driving a truck and being out on the road in a truck is not sexy.
It's not. Thank you for the super chat, Jonathan. It's a lifestyle. For sure. Yeah. Styles just said that. Styles just said it's a lifestyle. And it is. It absolutely is a lifestyle. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is a way of life.
If you think about it, every time you take a shower, it's going to be in the same place that you buy motor oil.
Yeah, right? It's just when you go to sleep at night, man, you just pull in the parking lot and you go to sleep. And that's another thing. Like I could tell with some of my students. Now I always noticed that my students who were like prior service never had an issue with, like, right off the bat, they adjusted really well to just sleeping in the truck. You know what I mean? In truck stops. But I could tell the people who had never been like far away from home or never really been on the road before. Like, you pull in that truck stop the first night, and you're like, okay, we're going to bed. And they have that deer in the headlight look, like, we're going to sleep right here in a parking lot? Well, yeah, I mean.
It's a radical shift, man.
Yeah, it's
sometimes
different.
Not even a parking lot.
Sometimes on the shoulder of the road.
Under a bridge in PA.
Yes. Sometimes it's on the side of the road, man. It just depends on where you're at. It is weird.
It's weird, and you get to a point where you don't even think about it. Like, now I even think about details because Jen and I vape.
Yep.
So when I'm parking, it doesn't matter. To me, it just matters if the wind's going to blow in my window on one side. Wind direction. Those are the things that become important to me.
And okay, which way is the sun going to be in 2 hours from now?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You try to, you pick parking spots based on that, or what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? How close do I need to be to the front door? I mean, it just depends.
Yeah, it's the little things, guys.
Yeah, and I mean, you get in this habits of making decisions based on things that other people would never think about.
Yeah. And that you never would have thought about when you began.
Correct. Sure. Yeah, and exactly. You never would have thought about it from the beginning. So, Yeah, life's a little different, man. Life's a little different out there on the road. Um, I won't say I miss it, because honestly, I don't. I don't miss the road itself at all. Um, but I know a lot of people. It's a great opportunity for them, and I'm glad to be a part of making a pathway for them, and helping them make a decision. What's going on, Heathens?
Yeah,
Thank you for the super chat.
and I think now I'm at the point where I'm experiencing what you were experiencing
Hmm.
in that being on YouTube and being a content creator, you have a very robust community that you're plugged into, and that's significant.
Yep.
And I've heard people that are a part of the community that I think both you and I are certainly a part of that say the same thing, even though they're not making videos. Just being interactive with the content and with everyone who's interacting with the content makes it a more enjoyable environment for them too.
It
So that's
does.
really
It
important.
does. It
And I don't
yeah.
think that, I mean, you've been driving, you said on the road for 12 and a half years or,
Yep. 12 and a half
14
out of
total.
14. Yeah.
A decade ago, could you imagine this kind
No.
of,
No.
I mean, I don't know what it was like, but I would imagine there was nothing like this
Look,
a
look,
decade ago.
when I started growing my YouTube channel when I was on the truck, and then I started actually like meeting people and feeling like a community was growing, dude, it was really weird to me. It was really weird because it was something totally different, and it's a support system. It's a support system for new drivers that I wish was there when I started driving, to be completely honest with you, because it was rough for me at first. It was pretty rough for me at first, and so I'm glad. I'm glad to still be a part of it through this. Even though I'm no longer on the road, I'm still able to be here and reach out and maybe help people out, um,
Yeah.
via YouTube or podcast or whatever it is. And so I kind of like that idea.
Yep.
Do I
And
miss
you
the
had to
doctor
manually,
paychecks? Yeah, it's Styles. I miss the doctor's paychecks. Yes, I do.
the
I do.
doctor's paychecks.
I do miss those. I do. I miss those. I do. You see, Brad says you don't just have to be single. I'm married with 2 kids under 16. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody's situation is so different. Everybody's situation is different. There are some people who drive a truck not because they enjoy it, but it's because they live in rural America and their other option is $8.75 at the Piggly Wiggly. You know what I mean? It's not because it's what they want to do. It's what they need to do to put food on the table and a roof over the head. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. That it always amazes me when I get hate from like people that live in big cities, especially like in the Northeast or out in LA or something. About truckers and pay and all that. And I'm like, look, trucking's not for everybody. But man, it's a life-changing career for rural America. It is. Driver lineup is kind of hot. Thank you for the
She's
super
saying that because she knows
chat.
I had to turn the fan off in this room.
That's funny. Why you turn it off? Mine's
Oh,
on.
my mic picks it up. Yeah.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. As you can see, my situation has changed. I'm at a desk. I bought a desk this week. I put it together, guys. I'm no longer on the floor trying to do lives and content. So this has helped me tremendously. It's made a big difference on my knees. That's for sure, for sure. But yeah, I mean, trucking is it's a life changing job for most of rural America, and I'm not saying it's only for rural America, but it's a bigger. There's bigger advantages for those in rural America who get into trucking compared to those in the big cities who were minimum wage is 15 or 18 bucks an hour. That's all.
Yeah, and that's even if you're in an area where you can make $15 or $20 an hour, think about $20 an hour. What's a $20 an hour times 40? That's $800 a week.
Yep, $800 a week. Yep.
You're gonna make $800 a week easy truck driving. Now that said, you're gonna work twice that many hours.
Yeah.
But if you're willing, to put in that sacrifice to get to where you want to go, the money is just it's crazy good.
Yeah, especially if you get into training, or teaming.
Yeah.
Anytime you have 2 drivers in a truck, the truck's making money. And if all that money either goes to you as a trainer minus $1,000 for your student, or to you as a couple because you're husband and wife, girlfriend and girlfriend, whatever it may be, and that money, as long as it goes into one pile, you're going to do well. as far as teaming.
And you can go home for 2 weeks.
Yeah, you can go home for 2. You can go home for 14 days, and get a $3 a mile run on the way out because your fleet manager's freaking out because you got a negative balance. So you'll probably be well taken care of for a couple loads.
And I'm not too shy to say no to the
Right?
other couple
Yeah,
loads.
correct. Yeah, all the other loads they seem to offer you. Yeah, you know what? It has been 2 weeks. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because last week was Easter. And everybody was a little hungover last week. Y'all had a good time on Saturday, didn't you?
I didn't have as good a time as Johnson's Logic had. He even put on a Peterbilt hat.
I heard Jenna had a good time as well.
Yeah, they reached a point about an hour into that live where she was coming out saying, "Hey, come get on the live with us." And I was like, nope, that is not going to happen.
Not going down. Sorry for the laundry, guys. It's got to dry. So I'm in the workout room still, even though I got a desk now. The room situation's still the same.
Hey, a Cub shirt looks hot even when it's wet.
That's right. So did the fans. Just saying. But no, I mean, I'm hyped up about the whole podcast thing. I had been doing my own thing with the podcast for a while, but I didn't. It's just like you're saying, one a month is plenty with your schedule and which way you do. Just to commit to that one a month, man. You know what I mean? And to have other people do it together, I think that's really going to help things take off. I think that'll help things take off, and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you for making me a part of it.
Well, I'm glad to have you. I mean, it's I'll jump back to my Crazy Bag super fan time. I'll still never forget. I'll never forget when Jen and I saw your truck parked at Springfield, and I was like, no, let's not go bother him. Let's not go say hi to him. Yeah. Well, I don't want to be that guy saying, "Hey, will you autograph my hat?" But
there's a few jackets out there. There's a few jackets out there that are signed.
That's funny.
Yeah, there are.
So it's really cool to have gone on this whole journey, not just become a professional driver, but to have learned my pre-trip from your YouTube channel.
Yeah. And those videos are still there today. People still use them.
I still advise people to use them. They're still relevant.
Yeah.
And to today be doing a podcast with you on Spotify. I mean, that's that's pretty cool. It's been a cool ride.
It's been a couple of years of riding along, man. It really has. Yeah. So and look, I'll be honest with you guys. I was getting out of everything. I had no desire to do anything involved with trucking, and then Eric stepped in and was like, "No, you got to stick around." Him and Jenna were all over me, Just come hang out with us, do a podcast, do some lives, and so that's what I'm doing now, and I'm loving it. I look forward to Sunday nights. Last Sunday I needed a break anyways. I was pretty hungover myself, to be honest with you. So I got pretty plastered on Saturday myself.
Well, just so everyone knows, that was my fault. I was ready to do it, but I texted him and said, "Hey, I can still jump on, but it is Easter," and I think you were probably happy that happened.
I was okay with it. I was okay. Well, thank you, Styles. I appreciate that. Styles says I definitely got a podcast voice. Well, I got the mic hooked up. I think this is the first show we're doing with the mic actually hooked up, because I've been using this. I don't use that anymore. This is actually off, deactivated. So I actually have like a mic. So it's a little different. What are you using there? You got a Yeti?
Yeah, Yeti. It's a great.
That's what microphone. I've got. I can tell because you got the on-off button in the back like I do.
Yeah, I just muted it so you didn't hear my vape cranking. But it is a great microphone. I highly recommend it if anyone's. I'm still learning it a little bit, but for podcasting, oh man, like the clarity that first podcast that's on Spotify, I use this mic and just GarageBand. There wasn't even a whole lot of editing or anything. It's just raw, just the way it recorded. It's a great mic.
Yeah, I pretty much everything I do, I just do as I record anymore. I am not good with all the editing crap, man. I'm just not. It's never been my cup of tea. I like to just record stuff and post it. And
I admire you for using OBS, because OBS is a little bit of a.
Yeah, we're on OBS right now. It is. If I could find something easier that worked easier, I would. I'll be honest with you. My ultimate goal in the long run is to, because you guys know I use this for something else, but my ultimate goal is to be able to hire someone to design all of it for me, and just push a button and walk away, and just, hey, when you're doing this, push this button. When you're doing this, push this button, and be done with it. Because you can do that.
Yep.
They can build everything for you from the bottom up for like $150, and you're done.
In OBS, you mean?
Yeah,
like a whole.
Yeah, they build the whole thing for you, have all your sources set up, all your scenes set up. You just switch from one scene to the other with a click of a button.
I gotta figure out OBS.
Yeah, I mean,
days.
There's a lot you can do. Jenna, it's going well. Jenna, thank you. It's going well. The banana oatmeal cookie vape, it's amazing. It's amazing. Bobby turned me on to a banana oatmeal cookie vape, a juice, twisted. What is it called? Twisted cookie or something? And yeah, it's really, really good. I really like it. Definitely no complaints from me on it. That's for sure. It's good stuff. But yeah, so I'm doing well with it. And, thank you to Evan for taking care of that. So Evan's been on my butt. Did I tell the story? I don't think I have. I don't think we've been online, have we? I don't think I told the story here. So Evan is Panda. Panda's been on my ass for like 2 months to quit vaping. Or quit smoking, vape, go to vape, quit smoking. So finally, the one day I told him, I said, I'm tired of hearing your mouth, man. Either buy me one or shut up. He bought me one. Like 90 seconds later, he sent me the money to buy one. He was like, now go buy one right now. And so I did. I went and bought one.
You went to vaping while you were driving for Prime too,
yes,
didn't you?
at the end. So at the end, when I actually got off the truck, I had stopped everything. I had went to vaping in like June or July, and I had been vaping, and I smoked a little bit in there, but around November, or right around October, November, I went to zero Nick. I just went to straight just vape juice, flavored juice, and by the end of December, I'd quit everything. I wasn't even vaping anymore. Nothing.
Jen and I were talking about this the other day. I smoked for a long time. I smoked for like 15 years, I think. To us, it's not even really the nicotine anymore.
It's the habit.
I'm honest with it. Is. It's a habit.
Yes,
it's the same with
the habit.
A cup of coffee in the truck.
Yes.
Sometimes I'm not even feeling a craving to vape while I'm driving at 2 a.m. But if my hand's not doing something,
Yep.
other than sitting on a steering wheel, it's the act of, I guess it would be smoking, but this is electronic, it's that act that I'm addicted to. It's the weirdest thing, man.
It is.
Like I could go to 0% and I would still hit it just as much and still get just as much of a fix.
And never mind. Okay, that's better. No, I hit a wrong button, but I fixed it. But yeah, I agree with you. It is. It's just the habit. It's just the habit of doing something, is what it is. I really believe that, especially when you're driving those 10-hour shifts in the middle of the night. Because my thing was, when I did quit everything, I started eating a lot more. I started buying packs of Lifesaver gummies, you know what I mean? And I'd have literally, I'd go through 3 bags on a 12-hour shift. If I was driving for 11 with a 30-minute break, it ends up being 12 hours when it's over with. Between your pre-trip, driving, your fueling, and your 30-minute break, your 12-hour shift. I'd go through 3 bags of freaking Lifesaver gummies. Just throw it in my mouth.
Really better. That's not necessarily
hell
better
no,
than
all
vaping.
that sugar. No, it's probably worse for you. Being on the road's tough, man. Being on the road is super tough. So what did you talk about in your first podcast episode? I have not listened to it yet.
I talked about consumer states versus producing states. And it was really kind of a beginner's view of if you can teach yourself to understand what consumer states are versus consumer states, then you can really teach yourself the freight lanes.
Yeah, you can teach yourself what actually is a good rate.
Yeah, and Florida, obviously, you're in a great example.
Yes,
there is some things produced in Florida, but
not
a lot. And the reason that those rates are so low in Florida is because there's so many trucks bringing freight into Florida from
Yep.
producing states, that there's no competition for that freight in Florida. So if it's orange juice or,
Yeah.
Pepsi or whatever, flowers, whatever it is, they could really go down to $1 or less, because there's just trucks everywhere trying to find a way to get out of Florida.
Someone's going to
Just
take it.
like New Mexico. Yeah, like New Mexico. If you take a load into Albuquerque, you are not getting reloaded in Albuquerque.
No.
You're going to deadhead to Texas, or you're going to deadhead to California. So it's really kind of, and like we have ice cream up in the Northeast, ice cream and candy bars, chocolate. That's to get all the trucks out of the Northeast. Although there is some production in the Northeast, but there's just such a huge number of trucks up there that you see kind of the same thing happening up in northern Michigan. There's not a lot produced up there, so you get yogurt out of there. You kind of get to understand where a lot of America's goods are produced, and where they're consumed, and you can really start to build a good understanding of the freight lanes based on that. And that was the core of the conversation.
And if you're ever going to be a lease operator or an owner operator, you need to have a grasp of that. Absolutely. In order to be successful, you need to have a grasp of where are the goods produced and where are they consumed, because it really dictates on how much money you're going to make where you pick up and where you deliver.
Yeah, and I tried to I tried to make it relevant for prime drivers, but also anyone driving for any mega carrier, any company. If you're leasing, you only have so much. You really don't have as much control as you'd like over the freight lanes. You can say no to a load, of course, but you can't say no to every single load.
No, you can't. Eventually, you've got to take something.
If you just rejected every load, eventually Prime's going to say, hey, the service contract we have with you, let's go ahead and call it quits.
Yeah.
You have to pull freight. But I think understanding that, even though you're a lease operator with a carrier and you only have a very limited amount of control over what you can run throughout the course of a month, understanding when to say no and why to say no is critical, because that'll keep you out of these really bad, I can't remember the word I use. Jen and I will occasionally get into a bad lane. And that meaning that we take a load somewhere like Albuquerque, or like somewhere where you just get caught up in these 3 or 4 loads in a row of just crappy shippers and receivers, crappy rates, timelines, they may not be 24-hour receivers, so you've got too much time on the load or not enough time on the load, and those are just junk lanes, so understanding when to say no to keep yourself out of those is really important. So you, even with that little amount of control you have as a lease operator, you still actually can have a profound impact on the lanes that you run based on just knowing when to say no and using that strategically.
And if you do it strategically, where you're not always saying no, when you do say no, they're going to know you're serious. You know what I mean?
And absolutely. And that doesn't mean say no to the cheap freight either, because taking orange juice out of Tampa is not a terrible, or Bradenton, but it's not a terrible thing. But if you've got an option between, say, taking orange juice to Phoenix or taking orange juice to Cincinnati, well, Cincinnati is right in the middle of Jen and I's favorite. Now, we're a team truck, but we have this square, and it's like Indianapolis, Columbus, Lexington, Louisville. That is our number one. We can reload out of there love it. A lot of pharmaceutical,
a lot of good freight.
A lot of good team freight coming out of there. So, if we have an option between taking orange juice to Phoenix and orange juice to Cincinnati, both of them are going to pay crap.
Yep.
But we're obviously going to take the option to go to Cincinnati.
And if you don't, and here's the thing, guys, if you're down in Florida and you turn down every load, what are they going to do? They're going to deadhead you, right? 600
you're
miles.
You're going to get Shaw flooring.
Yeah, you're going to get Shaw flooring either out of Augusta or out of north of Atlanta even.
Which is heavy as hell and doesn't pay much better.
No, it doesn't pay much better. So you're better off just eating sometimes, just eating it. Look, welfare juice is not bad if you made a good choice on the freight you brought in.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't come to Florida me personally, I wouldn't come to Florida for less than probably $2.35 a mile, depending on where it was in the country. But you've got to be well over $2 a mile, in my opinion, when you come in, because you're going to eat $1 going out.
Well, and you just said a key part right there, depending on where you are in the country.
Yeah.
Because if you pick up a load in Atlanta that's paying $2.40 into Florida, and then you have to carry orange juice to Portland.
No, you don't want to do that.
Then you just burned yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah.
You might have felt really. You could even get $3 a mile out of Atlanta.
A lot of times I've gotten $4 out of the meat place. Right there, it's just southwest of Atlanta. I can't remember what city it's in now. You know what I'm talking about, though. The Cargill or whatever it is right there. I've gotten $4 coming into Florida before.
And it feels great.
You
better not take a 3,000 mile load for $1 a mile out of there.
No, I got lucky because I turned around and went even deeper because I was at Target in Lake City. I went to Jacksonville and took beer to Tampa. So I even got deeper into it. But I got $2.60 for the beer to Tampa. You know what I mean? So I just got deep, and then I just picked up orange juice and just ate it to Dallas. You know what I mean? That's just how it happened. I was a team truck and just ate it.
So taking low rates is not always a bad thing. Sometimes people look at the way Jen and I drive our truck and say we always chase the high rates. That's not true. We'll take chocolate out of PA to Edwardsville for $1 a mile, $1.05 a mile.
Yep.
Because you got Tyson north of Edwardsville, you've got bakeries and other pharmaceutical over in Indianapolis. There's just so much. Now we won't carry certain brand of beer out of St. Louis just because that's a preference of ours.
Yeah, well, I was the same way at the end. I didn't want to fool with Budweiser at all.
Well, you know that load's going to be 79,990 pounds.
And if it's not, they're going to have you go bump the dock so they can put another pallet on it.
Exactly.
That's happened to me, folks. That's happened to me before. I went to get out one time and it was like 74.8, and they were like, "Oh wait, no, you got to go back." Get on and they put another pallet on it. And they're 2,500 pounds on it. I was like,
there's literally a scale at the guard shack.
Yeah.
But there's so much good freight around that Edwardsville, and I've seen drivers look at that and say, "There's no way. I'm in PA. There's mushrooms up here. There's cold storage. There's all kinds. Why am I taking chocolate for $1.05?" Well, you're getting yourself some. You could sit and wait for 24 hours, or you could just go ahead and get to Edwardsville where you can reload. We'll take that load all the time. Same with now Ben and Jerry's. You could go to Henderson.
Yeah.
Or you can go down to Tennessee. There's actually a really good load down in Tennessee.
Yeah, it goes to Covington.
Yeah. So, it's just really kind of...
And for team trucks, you go to Covington, there's a good chance you're going to FedEx in Memphis to California in a good load, or back to the Northeast.
Exactly. And if you're brand new, I tell drivers this all the time, and I know there's a lot of disagreement with this, but hey, it's my opinion, my advice. Take it for what you want, disagree with it, whatever. I tell drivers all the time, just run everything they throw at you for a year, whether you're at Prime or anywhere else, because that's the only way to learn this stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't say no to anything for a year, and there were a lot of times where I wanted to just leap out of my truck. I was so pissed.
And just let keep driving without you.
Yeah. Just terrible shippers and receivers, wading through a foot of mud in Dodge City, Kansas in a thunderstorm, chicken plants in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas. But it taught me how to drive the truck backwards really well. And it taught me those freight lanes, and it gave me a picture of those 5 or 10 shippers or receivers that I will never go to. They're blacklisted, and a good reason why. And that was it. That was the best way for me to learn it, So you can't just go watch YouTube or buy
you got to live it.
That tells you about all this stuff.
You got to live it. You got to live it, guys.
You got to get out there and do it in practice.
Yeah, you have to live it. And like we get to sit here and preach it all day, but you're still not going to understand it until you live it. And it's a learning experience, that's for sure. And that's.
I mean, you just said if a team goes to Covington, you're likely going to get a FedEx load or a dry Walmart load up to Denver.
Yeah.
How do you know those things?
Yeah.
You know those things because you've done it.
Because I've lived it. Yeah.
So, but if you do it and if you really pay attention to it, Jen and I've got a friend who left today on his first load upgrading,
Mm-hmm.
and he actually went and bought a notebook where he's going to start making notes on these type of things. Another really great example, we may have talked about this before. I think I may have talked about it in a video that I sent you for your channel. There's a yogurt chain, it's a chain that Jen and I have delivered on. We took fruit puree from the LA area up to Twin Falls, Idaho.
Yep.
Then we took Chobani from Twin Falls to New Berlin, New York.
Yep.
Then we picked up little glass yogurt containers that we took to Michigan, I believe.
Yes, northern Michigan.
We picked up yogurt from Michigan and took it back to California. So think of that whole chain, that whole supply chain of fruit puree. That's all yogurt that's going to end up on the shelf. And we were on that yogurt freight lane the whole way, and made great money on it, So, but the only way to know it is to run those lanes.
And I've done that exact thing. The glass containers, you picked them up in New York, right?
Yeah.
But it was by the Petro. The reason I know this is we had a blizzard. I had a blizzard coming one day, and I delivered in New Berlin, and they sent me to pick up those glass containers, and the blizzard was coming, and I hauled ass, and it's like 10 miles from the Petro. And I pulled up there, and I went inside, and I said, "Hey, look, it's already started snowing. Can y'all please get me loaded?" And they said, "Yeah, because we're going home anyways." So they loaded me. I got to the Petro, and by the time when I got to the customer to pick up, it had just started flaking a little bit, It took him maybe 30 minutes to load me, a 15-minute drive. Dude, there was 2 inches of snow on the ground in 40 minutes. It was that fast, yeah. And luckily I made it to the Petro, and I spent 3 days there. And then went to North Michigan up there in the glove.
That's funny. We spent 3 days at that Petro for a different reason. We spent 3 days there because the trailer they gave us in New Berlin had a crack about a foot long down the air tank.
Oh.
So the air compressor, fill it, and then
just go right back
you'd
down.
watch it going down highway. It just wouldn't hold air at all. So we did go pick up the glass containers and then went to Petro, and they had to order a new air tank for the trailer and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, you're right. That's definitely the place.
Yeah, I know where you were. And then I was a solo at that time, so I actually picked up and went to Tennessee from Michigan. I went to Murfreesboro.
Gotcha.
I moved yogurt because there's another one in Murfreesboro. Huge yogurt in Murfreesboro.
It's fascinating to see, and when you're up at that Chobani plant up there in Twin Falls,
that's a new one.
Think about the amount of product that has
nice.
to come to. Yeah, it is really nice. Mm-hmm. And think about the amount of product that comes to that place. So we're just carrying fruit puree, and they're in these giant steel bins that they just raise up, and then the fruit puree drops down into these cups. And so think about, like, there's got to be nuts, chocolate, coconut flakes, dairy, all kinds of stuff that's coming off of trucks there. Then it goes to New Berlin, where there's actual branding packaged onto the top of it. So at that place, there's things coming off of trucks like labeling, various packaging parts so that they can. So it's just amazing to see that entire supply chain. But parts of those loads pay very little, and then of that supply chain, and then parts of that supply chain pay very well. The Chobani to New Berlin's a great
Dude,
load.
It's a great load out of Twin Falls.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example of you taking one leg of that load may pay $250, $260, and then the glass containers, it may pay $1.30, $1.40.
Yep.
But the whole thing averaged out, you're getting $2 a mile that entire week.
And if you can do that, you are going to be very successful. If you look, any driver that can average $2 a mile for their week, you're cream of the crop.
That is good money, especially with Prime, because of our fuel discounts and all that good stuff. I mean, if you're averaging $2 a mile, you're making excellent money.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You're doing very well. You're doing very well. There's no doubt about it in my mind, anyways.
Which we do.
Be. Yeah. Well, and you know what though, you took time to learn it. We're sitting here talking about it. You've taken the time to learn it, and not only learn it, but research it to understand it.
Yeah.
And all of that comes into play.
And it's proven so valuable. And like I said, it took us a year. Well, let me say this with it. First of all, I'm still a rookie. I'm still brand new at this. I don't
You've
want
got
to
what,
present
2 years
myself
in?
as, yeah, but still,
You
you're
know?
always learning things. But I will say this, my original plan was to come to Prime and be there for a year and then go do something local.
Yep.
But at a year, that's when I felt like I was just starting to understand how to do this crap. Like that to me was like,
Yeah.
okay, now let's go really learn it.
Yep.
And now 2 years in is when Jen and I can really maximize the profit of our truck and make really good money in a 3-week period.
Yeah, and you know what? And some people move on. Bobby G is a prime example. Bobby G just left Prime. He took his truck with him. His Prime truck, he took it with him. It's a lease truck. He's just got to pay the payments every week. He took it with him. He worked it out. Yeah, you can do that. He worked it out with it. He called him, found out the process, went through the entire process, and I believe he's on his third load with his other company in his Prime truck.
Man, I hope he has good contracts because Prime is the most expensive lease.
Yeah. But no, he ordered it. It's got the office. It's the freight owner with the office in it and all that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he wanted it, and no, he went to work for another company, and he doesn't want to talk about where he's. I know where he's at, but he doesn't want to talk about it yet. He wants to see how it goes first.
Yeah.
And then give a true, opinion about it. Because there's only like 16 trucks there, and they were all former Prime drivers. All of them are Prime trucks. They're all Prime lease trucks with this company. So that's a very interesting twist on the whole thing, is that it's all Prime drivers who have come there. So it's a small company. So we'll see how he does. But my understanding is he's doing pretty well with it. He likes it. He's making money. Home time at your actual home or house, Ross? Probably not. He's probably at the yard or at the fire and ice.
Well, he's a Volvo driver, so he stays over at the OA.
Oh, he stays there all the time, doesn't he? Because his truck's always in the shop. He just gets to hang out there. He just gets to hang out there when the Volvo's in the shop all the time, doesn't he? Isn't that how it works? The Volvo spend a lot of time in the shop, I hear. Look. There's Bobby, 7,500 to the truck this week. 7,500 to the truck this week. So good to see you, Bobby. I didn't know if you were in here or not, but yeah, 7,500 to the truck this week. That's with the new company. So I mean, 4 days. Yeah, it was only a couple days. So that's pretty nice. That's really nice. And
that is excellent.
And his overhead's the same as what it would be at Prime. You know what I mean? Because everything's still, all the contract, the leasing and all that's still at Prime. Or, Success Leasing. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
Dang bags, it's like that. It's like what, Johnson? Oh, because I said you're always in the shop with the Volvo?
Oh.
Lives here now.
Jenna came in and said she was at, when Ross is in Springfield, this room that I'm sitting in is actually his room.
Oh, that's where he sleeps?
Yeah.
That's funny. Don't air mattress on the floor and go to bed, man.
No, yeah, there's an actual bed over
Oh,
there.
is there?
Yeah, there's an actual bed in here.
He's living the good life.
Well, he's a Volvo driver, so.
The yard has several Volvos sitting there. I bet you they do. And they never did order anymore, did they? They still just had that one set of 20 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I think they
have like 20 or 25, and that's it. Bobby's almost to Seattle.
I think the problem with Volvo is the same problem that Peterbilt has, is that you can't get warranty work done at Prime or at a shop, at a TA or Petra.
You got to go
Flying J or Love's. Has to go to Peterbilt. It could be a little stupid 30-minute fix of a wiring harness.
Yep.
Touching the hood, and it still has to go sit at Peterbilt for 5 freaking days. And that's the same thing with Volvo. So Prime's trying to get that worked out, because it's been a source of
headache,
frustration for Prime.
Headache. Yeah, my room is awesome. He likes his room. Like, you got Yoda. You even got Yoda sitting there looking out for you, bud. Baby
Yeah.
Yoda's back there hanging out, waiting for you.
I need to get a little lightsaber for Yoda.
Yes.
Usually when I do lives, people are like, I need more light so I can see Yoda better. I'm like, really? This is what you guys.
Y'all worried about Yoda? Y'all worried about Baby Yoda? There you go. There's Baby Yoda. Well, I am going to hopefully in the next month or so be moving into my own place, and I'll be able to set up my room the way I want it to for streaming. So,
Well, this room's about to get undergo the wall behind me. I'm actually getting these three-dimensional looking white blocks that I'm doing the wall behind me and this
yeah.
wall over here.
Now wait a minute. Is that not a driver lineup sticker that you have, or was that something you just add to the screen?
Oh, that's on my lives?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a graphic.
Dude, that I honestly thought that was a giant sticker you had made and stuck on the wall.
No, it actually animates too. I made
That's
that in a
freaking cool.
Apple Motion. But so that's why OBS, there's a lot of things I know how to do, but I do all my animations in Apple Motion and then just transfer those into eCams. I'm not sure how I could do that in OBS, but I'll figure it out because I want to be able to do what you're doing right now,
which is just
using Discord.
Yeah. Well, you haven't
Because
figured out how
it's
to do
so
it.
easy to have guests and callers.
Yeah.
eCams doesn't let you bring, and I'm on a Mac, so Mac is kind of like the things you're allowed to do work really well.
Well, all I do is run my sound into my headset and then add an audio output onto my OBS with the headset as the audio output. So basically, the feed gets everything that goes through my microphone and everything that goes through my headset. It's got two sources coming in, but the headset is considered an audio output because the computer is putting an output to my headset.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? It's outputting it to my headset, so it has to show up as an output, but it comes to the stream.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But,
It's not that hard to do, man. It's really not.
But it's funny how far this has come, though.
Oh, yeah.
5 years ago,
dude. 2 years ago, I was trying to do this exact thing that me and you are doing that I've been doing on Sunday nights. Where people could call in and stuff, and I could never figure out how I was going to do it. We used to have Chad Rich would come to my lives, and I'd have to turn the speakerphone on and put the speakerphone on the other phone near the phone I was streaming on so people could hear him. And you no longer have to do that.
I remember when the best you could get was like Google Hangouts.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I remember Hangouts, and there was another one, Skype.
Skype, yeah.
Skype, yeah. Remember Skype? Yeah. Google Hangouts and Skype is what it was.
Well, man, I hate to do it, but we gotta get to Prime. I gotta get all this
shut
down, and we're gonna hit the road tonight. But as a parting thought, again, if there's any new drivers on here, just getting started, just pay attention. Don't just run the truck. I mean, if you really want a future of profitability and you want to get better at what you're doing, pay attention very closely to those lanes and where you're getting, who's making product and who's consuming product. And that, I think, can really change the way you run your truck in a positive way. So, and thank you, Bags, for everything. Can't wait to hear your podcast.
What's the podcast again? Plug it one more time.
Driver Hub. Just go on wherever you get your podcast. It's not on Apple yet. It will be this week, but Spotify, iHeartRadio, really most of them except for Apple. If you just go there and search Driver Hub,
you'll find
that podcast.
Okay, all right, man. Sounds good. Y'all be safe out there. All right.
All right, man. We'll be in touch on the road. I'm sure Jenna will.
Yep.
Keep you entertained when you have a little too much drink.
She does. So no doubt about it, man. Y'all be safe. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
All right. See ya. All right, guys. So that was Eric from Driver Lineup. My problem is going to be now I got to try to quickly transition into another scene, and I wasn't really ready for it. So, but we will figure this out. We'll figure it out, and I'll get it figured out. We might just be able to stay with where we're at. To be honest with you, I could just enlarge this probably. Probably just do this. We could probably just do something like this for now. There we go. Look at that. Oh yeah, we can. We could just do that. That works for me. All right. So we can just do it this way. Heathens is out. All right, man. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the super chats, brother. Have a good one. Have a good one, man. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. You've been here every week the last few weeks. Oh, so now it's just me and you folks. What do you want to talk about, man? Anything trucking related, man. Anything trucking related is free game tonight. Like I said, I'm going to do my podcast, my version or my episode of my podcast here in the next few days to get to Eric to get it uploaded or get his approval on it to get it uploaded. So it'll be ready. I'm really excited about that. I'm like super excited. So hopefully, I am sure we've had like 30 to 40 people in here tonight. I'm sure everybody who's been here tonight is probably already in with the podcast stuff, and it's going to be really interesting to see it grow. I think it's going to be a really good time. No doubt about it. Ross wants on. All right, yeah, just jump in, Ross. You want to do audio? If you want to do audio, man, just get in here. Come into general chat. Come into the general, man. Your audio will automatically pick up and be on there. Just jump in there. Just jump in there, man. Ralph, how are you this evening? How you doing, man? So I missed a lot of stuff. Kenworth, how you doing? If I have not said hello to you yet, welcome in, whoever you may be. All right. Glad everybody is here. It is Sunday Night Trucking Talk. We're just kind of hanging out. We're just hanging out tonight, man. We took a week off for Easter last week. Me and Eric were talking, we're getting everything lined up for the, it's already started, the Driver Hub podcast. So there is an episode already out. So make sure y'all look for that on whatever platform you used. Gotta love it. Hey. Nice shirt. Too bad I am boycotting space due to sports. Yeah, I got you. Sports due to political climate. Yeah, Kenworth. A lot of people are. A lot of people are. I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you one bit. So let's address. I think every week we should address this question. Bags, when are you going back to trucking? I'm not. This is the closest I'll get to trucking, guys, right here. I am going to live through you. When it comes to trucking, I'm going to live through all of you. And I'm going to remain home. That's what I'm going to do. No doubt about it. Oh, he did get in here. What's going on, man?
Yeah, not much going on with you.
Same old, man. May have to turn you up.
Oh, really?
No, you're good. You're good. I just wanted to double check it. I had to turn Eric down. He was blowing the meters off, man. It was like way up in the red. So I had to turn Eric down earlier. So I hadn't adjusted it. So what's going on? How's life out on the road, man?
Life is good on the road right now. I'm kind of making up for not showing up last week, even though I said I would. I was in full recovery mode from that evening.
Yeah, I've been told not to drink with you.
Yeah, I would provide you with a word of caution for that.
I have been warned in advance. They were like, whatever you do, stay away from Johnson Logistic and Eric, man. Just stay away from them.
But you know what? I'm not a huge. Well, I won't say I'm not a huge drinker, but when I do drink, the reason people stay away from me is because I don't know when to stop.
And you just like you take them along for the ride.
Yeah.
And you take them along for the ride is what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a terrible influence in that regard, but I am a fun friend to be drunk with. I will say that.
Tim, I'm not drunk because I'm drinking Mountain Dew. I had 2 doubles of tequila before the show, but that was it. Ralph, Chad is doing well. Chad is doing very well. Chad has a lot going on in life, but he is still out on the road driving a truck. And he's just waiting on some things. Bags, you already put in the miles. Daily delivering goods to local customers. Yeah, I do. I put in a lot of miles a day. I drive up to 200 miles a day right now, guys. Some days when I work. And I don't have a boss anymore, so I don't have a truck payment either. That helps.
Yeah.
Now, Tim.
On right now, actually.
Tim, we do have these still, if needed. We do have them. We do have the bottles in the desk still. How's Ross and Panda
Are we
doing?
super chatting for shots? Is that what we're doing?
No, that was not what I was doing. I was not super chatting for shots. Tim was just asking why I wasn't drinking. Holy moly, this got all goofy because of. Okay, hold on a minute. I gotta fix this, guys. I've gotta fix this. Jenny, you can come in if you want to. I just have to fix it when you do it. That's all. Jenny came in and then she dipped out.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She came in, but when she did it, it adjusted the size of the picture in the room, and so I was going to have to change everything back up. Actually, I can just change everything back up in a minute. Just give me a second, guys. I'm going to. I can just do this. Bottoms up. Yeah, no, I don't think we're gonna do the bottoms up, man. I don't think that's gonna happen, Timmy.
Tell him for next time.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Talk about me. What did I do?
I was gonna jump in and talk about Ross, but you have Cam on. I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna fix it right now, Jenna. That's what I'm doing. I am fixing it right now. Just give me a second. And I will get it fixed.
Number? Nope, I can't.
I think that has to be off. Yeah, hold on a minute, guys. There you go. How's that picture, guys? Y'all like that one? Is that good? I like it. Let's just transition. There we go. Okay, so...
Okay, now that there's no camera, I will say I'm the one who warned, do not ever drink with Ross and Eric.
Yeah, somebody
together.
did. I knew someone had warned me.
Yeah, that was me, and I will back Ross up that he is like the most fun you can ever be around, but you'll pay for it.
You'll pay for it later? Ooh.
Definitely.
But I feel like it's a great time, and that's okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I used to...
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, there were many nights I literally stumbled, from the Fire and Ice to the Campus Inn. Just stumble my way through the back parking lot into my truck. It's just the reality of it.
I can say that I've had my fair share of stumblings, but it's usually stumbling down the hotel hallway to my room.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's what I should have done all the time, but I didn't. Why aren't you driving anymore, Bobby? You can just follow the story on YouTube, really, and you'll probably figure it out. But yeah, I've just decided not to go back on the road.
Yeah.
I've just decided I've had opportunities to go back on the road, but I've decided not to take them, mainly because I'm picky. I'm like extremely picky now, and it's
on like what company or what?
Yeah, on everything. On the equipment, on the working on percentage, on all of it. And there's just not many companies that could fulfill everything that I would like to have in order to be on the road.
Yeah, I mean, in that regard, I understand where you're coming from. And then I also look at it in the aspect like, is there really a company that really checks everybody's boxes off?
There's probably none that check everybody's boxes off. That's the one thing about trucking. I don't think you'll ever find... I don't think there'll ever be a perfect company, but I don't think that's in every industry. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's never going to be the perfect company for everybody. It's just not going to happen.
It's just whatever your great middle ground.
Yeah, exactly. What are the things you're willing to give up? And what are the things that you have to have?
Mm-hmm.
That's... I mean, look at trucking as a whole, man. Just look at the people in this room tonight. We got 25 people here. All of us came from different backgrounds, guarantee it. Every one of us, man, have had different jobs in our life from the time we were probably in high school or before, all the way to now, and yet all of us ended up in trucking at some point. So, I mean, it's a lifestyle. It's a different way of life.
Yeah, and just like you were saying, it's just I completely lost my train of thought on that.
No, it's a different way of life, and it's for a lot of people, it's a great way to put food on the table and a roof over the head when they don't have other options. You know, a funny story I like to tell is when I drove for FFE. FFE had a deal with the city of Dallas, and they would actually recruit out of the homeless shelters. That's a true story. They recruited out of the homeless shelters in Dallas. And so if there was someone in a homeless shelter who was homeless but could pass a urine test and, you know, had a good enough background check in order to drive a truck, FFE would pick them up, take them in, put them in the hotel, send them to school because they had their own school. They'd send them to the school and then get them into training and everything. So, I mean, it's an opportunity, and it's the jobs are plentiful. There's trucking jobs everywhere. Everybody's always hiring.
Which is good, though.
It is. Yeah, if you have a CDL, you have a job. You know, I've always felt
it's
that
literally
way.
the golden ticket.
It is.
And, you know, but I will also say, even though having a CDL is a golden ticket, it is not for everyone.
No.
Like, it's not just, you know, and I know you said it on your channel, I've said it on my channel. Eric, Driver Line, said it on his channel. It's not just a job. You're literally changing your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And
Everything
if you're
you
not
do.
ready for that change, you won't.
And not just your lifestyle. You're changing that of your spouse, of your kids, you know, whoever is involved in your life on a daily basis. Their lifestyle's changing too.
All right.
You know, it's changing for everybody. Chad used to talk about that all the time. You know, he's like, you know, he used to tell new drivers all the time, whatever you do, don't start arguing with your wife, especially about things at home, because here's the thing. She's mom, she's dad, she's the lawn maintenance, you know, she's the grocery shopper, she's the mechanic, she's everything now when you're not home. You know, and she's feeling the stress of that, and she don't need you piling it on her. You know, that's what he used to tell new students all the time. You know, if your wife doesn't answer the phone on the second ring, don't freak out thinking she's at Jody's house. You know what I mean? The odds are, dude, she could be out mowing the grass because someone has to do it, and you're not home to do it anymore.
Right.
You know, and that's a hard adjustment for some people. It's a very hard adjustment for some people to make.
And that's another thing I when I'm talking to people about truck driving, it's like, if you have someone at home or someone dealing with a situation, you got to be careful talking on the phone because your emotions project into that phone.
Yes.
And if you get your emotions out of whack while you're driving, you're now a danger to everyone.
Everybody around you. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because now you're driving down the highway pissed off at 65 miles an hour, you know, and you don't need that.
Yeah, at all. No one needs that.
Yeah, Bobby says drive for yourself. Every company out there sucks. None of them pay you right. There's always room for more pay in any industry. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're a truck driver, a police officer, a firefighter, a doctor. You know, I mean, the clerk at the local grocery store. There's always room to pay people more money. That's just our reality we live in. There's always room. Funny thing is, I had a funny story about that. Is this? I was going to order food tonight for the first time. I was going to have food delivered to me, and I looked at the delivery fee, and I went, how the fuck do people pay this delivery fee? Like, one of the restaurants was $20 just in delivery fee to get it delivered.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts, man. It was pretty nuts. Jenna, be safe. It's not just a job; it's an adventure. Yeah, Kenworth, that's true. The old Army phrase, right? It's not just a job. Or no, it was Navy. Navy was. It's not a job; it's an adventure. I believe that was a Navy slogan for a long time.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it's not just a job; it's an adventure. That is trucking. Trucking is an adventure. It really is. It's a good adventure. So, how long have you been driving?
I have been driving since January of 2019, so I'm about 2 years and 3 months in.
Okay. Have you been with Prime the whole time, or?
Yeah, so I came to Prime the end of January of 2019. I went through. This was back when the original 30,000 miles for TNT.
Yes.
I came in to upgrade 2 weeks prior to them changing it to 50,000 miles. So I kind of got lucky.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Yes.
so
You got very
from
lucky.
there, I upgraded to my own truck in April, and
Okay.
then in April I was a company driver. So from April to February of last year of 2020, I was a company driver,
Yeah, you drive
and
it.
I
Did you have
switched
a
over.
lightweight or do you have a full size?
I had a full size.
Okay.
So there is a way to get a full size as a company driver, but I will not divulge that information because it's not public knowledge. But for those of you looking to come to Prime and don't want to drive a lightweight, there is a way to get a full size. Uh, but
There's
I
ways
would
around
ask around. I'm not going to be the one to
it.
divulge that info.
William asked me, when are you coming back to Prime? William, I'm coming back to Prime to visit, quote unquote. I'm just coming to visit. I'll be there in July. We're going to have a meet and greet in July. So come July, I'll be in the Prime neighborhood to hang out and meet everybody. But that's it. As far as driving a truck and stuff like that, I won't be coming back to Prime. What I've got going on, I'm very happy with, and it's things are growing for me, and so I'm no desire to return to the highway. That's for sure. I'll leave that up to you
But
guys.
it's so fun here.
Well, you guys just tear it up. I did. Hey, I did mind. I did
Yeah,
like
and you know what? Honestly, I don't even.
I did like
I can't hold
1.7,
you that.
1.7, 1.8 million. Man, I'm done. I'm
Mhm.
tapping out.
And I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I do not blame you.
I'm tapping out.
Once you
Man.
put in your time, that's it.
That's it. You just
Yeah.
time to move out. Move out.
Which
and
I'm
move
still
on.
working on that. But
Now the only thing I could do that I haven't is I could probably go drive for Frito Lay or Cisco or what I mean, McLean's, if I wanted to.
I would say I heard those guys are actually pretty good to work for. It's just the
Mhm.
quote unquote local mindset of actually unloading a trailer.
Yes, it's a big difference.
With yeah,
And look,
that's
as long as things are going like they are for me, like I do just fine doing what I'm doing, and I have no boss, and I work the exact schedule I want. I literally work anytime I want, and if I don't want to go to work, I don't go to work. That's worth a lot of money to me.
yeah. It's and going back to what we were just talking about. If you have to find what works for you,
Yeah, you have to find
whether it
out.
be a company, job, an activity you want to do, as long
Mhm.
as it works for you, and it doesn't really matter about anybody else's,
I'll
happiness.
be there for that. You got me into Prime. Well, you're welcome. Thank you for that. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm glad it's working out for you. And I love it when it works out for people. Look, there's been a lot of people that have come to Prime after watching my YouTube videos, more a couple of years ago in like a 2.5 year span, but it didn't work out. But for a handful of them, maybe 10%. So if you are like one of the originals who watched a lot of my videos and lives I used to do on the road, and you came to Prime and you're still there, you're in a small group of people who are being successful on the road. You are in about a 10% group of people, and the other 90% are back home doing whatever profession it is they were doing before or moved on to because truck driving wasn't for them. So, just keep that in mind. It's about 1 in every 10 of the people that came to Prime that I know of stayed. The other 9 went home. Most of them didn't even finish training. That's the truth. Because it's not for everybody. It's a lifestyle, and it's not for everybody. Some have even come back. So you're doing the podcasting with us, right?
Oh yeah, I am actually gonna do the podcast with you guys.
Okay, good deal. That'll be good.
And something I've been meaning to mention. I think I talked it over with Jenna before, but when you were just talking about having, when you were back here with Prime and you had the YouTube channel with you and Chad Rich and everyone, I actually followed your channel back in the day. You were
did
actually
you?
one of the reasons I came to Prime.
Nice.
And my current trainee that's currently with me now, he's also watched your channel, so he's here with me because of you as well.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, look, I had a lot, man. I had a lot of people, and I'm glad I'm glad so many people. It's changed. Even at 10%, dude, that's 10% of my people that came to Prime that changed their lives for better for them. And so
I actually
I'm
had
happy
an
with that.
opportunity to meet you and Chad back when I was in
Did you
TNT.
Did you have lunch with us once?
I was going to, and I got too shy, and I didn't show
No,
up.
you didn't show up. Oh yeah, because we took a big party to lunch one time.
Mm-hmm.
We took a
So
big party to lunch
that was
one
during
time.
that was during my time in training because
Okay, I know
you and Chad are actually
exactly.
part.
I know exactly when you're talking about. I know
Mm-hmm.
exactly when you're talking about. Yeah, we took a big group to lunch. A big group to lunch. I think we had like 14 or 16 people that
Mm-hmm.
showed up. We all went and had lunch over at the Fire and Ice. Skull, how are
Mm-hmm.
you tonight? Chad's old trainee Chuck. Yeah, yeah. Chuck's Chuck's a really nice guy. I met Chuck a couple times. I met him when he showed up for orientation. Talked to him multiple times when he was on Chad's truck, and Chuck's story is cool if you've heard it all. So if you guys haven't, you should watch his YouTube. I don't even know what the name of it is, but yeah, his story, his backstory is pretty amazing for someone to get into trucking when they didn't have to. That's truthful. He didn't have to. He doesn't need to be trucking right now, guys. He does it because he's bored. All right, Chuck trucks because he's bored. So that even makes his story more interesting. Because he does it because he's bored. Unbelievable. All right, I think I'm going to wrap it up tonight. And I'm going to do a podcast in the next couple days and get it uploaded, guys. Driver Hub. Driver Hub is that podcast, guys, that you guys want to make sure you're checking out. All right?
Hey, I actually need to put on my calendar when that meetup is, and I'm gonna work out somewhere.
The
Is it
8th.
July?
I believe it's the 8th of July.
July 8th. Okay, both of you guys are saying July 8th, so I'm gonna put that in my
Yeah.
calendar.
Yeah,
And then I know that yes, you are invited. Sorry, but I'm also gonna do that. I'm gonna work out some more details with the podcast with driver lineup as
Yeah,
well.
with
I know
Eric.
this was driver
Yeah.
lineup and Eric and Travis and them.
Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Um,
because it's. I think it's going to be a good time.
I think so as well.
I think it'll be good, guys. Make sure you follow that. Make sure you follow that, man. It's going to have great information. It's going to be some good shows, and I expect that thing to grow pretty rapidly. I expect that to be a pretty rapidly growing thing. Allie, hi. Allie's been lurking quietly, I think, in the background down in Texas. It's good to see you tonight, girl. We didn't see Hopper or Gypsy tonight. Usually they stop in.
No, I don't know where Hopper is. Gypsy I've talked to recently. I believe she's resting right now because she has to deliver in the morning.
Yeah, Hopper, I think Hopper is too. Trucking through life? Okay. Bagsy coming. No, Skull, I'm not coming back. I'm coming for a visit July 8th. The closest, you guys want to see me at Prime, July 8th. We're having a meet and greet. Get with Driver Lineup. DriverLineup.com. I believe there's some information on there, or will be soon regarding it.
I think will be soon.
About how to be part of that. But July 8th, we're doing a meet and greet in Springfield, Missouri. All right? I'm going to be a part of it. I'm going to be there along with a bunch of other Prime YouTubers and podcasters and stuff. So, guys, that's the date. I believe that's the date on the calendar. You need to mark is July 8th. But driverlineup.com will eventually have that information. Yeah, Allie's there. All right, man. It was good talking to you. Hey, when I do these on Sundays, man. Hey, when I do these, man, feel free to jump in, man.
Oh, I absolutely will. I was just about
Stop
to say,
in
I gotta let
whenever,
you go
man.
since
Yeah,
I'm,
man. We share
in that
stories.
trailer.
Yeah, we could share stories, man. Hang out and do whatever, man. It'll be great.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll be here next. I'll be on starting our home time this Tuesday, so we'll be off for a week. So next Sunday I'll be completely free.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'll talk to you then.
Talk to you soon, guys.
See you.
You guys take care.
All right, guys. So yeah, there you go, man. Another good week. Another good week here, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. We talked a lot about trucking and freight lanes and lifestyle changes and how different it can be. Driver Hub, that's your podcast. That's what you need to look for. Driver Hub on whatever your podcast preference is. All right, it's not on Apple yet, and it's not on something else yet, but it's on a lot. It's on Spotify. Most of you have Spotify. It's on Spotify. Driver Hub. All right. We'll be back next week. to have another show. It's just going to be an open show next week. So if you are a driver and you want to be a part of it, make sure you join the Discord. All right. I believe there's a way to join it right here, maybe. I don't know if this will work or not tonight. It's not going to work tonight. All right. But you can join the Discord, be a part of it, and all you have to do is just jump in the chat, and you can tell